Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are introducing this guy. I don't have a name for it yet. It is unit 1020, our brand new 2023 Peterbilt 389 with a Miller Industries Century 5130 25-ton wrecker on the back. So this is the max replacement. So this truck replaces our 27-ton NRC. We sold that truck. Hopefully the new owner enjoys it as much as we did. And today I want to walk you around this pretty girl with Shane, and he's gonna show you the ins and outs of it. So he's touching it up for you guys real quick. Well, this is her. It's got a PACCAR 15-liter PACCAR engine, 565 horsepower, 18-speed Eaton transmission, 315-inch wheelbase. It's a little bit longer than the People's Champ, a little bit longer than the wrecker that I drive, but it's white, blue accent, blue and gray accent. She's pretty. So it's got a 128-inch underreach, just like my truck. The back half of it is identical to the People's Champ. The front half is Peterbilt. It's a little bit different. We're Kenworth people. We couldn't pass up the deal on this thing, so we bought it. And Shane's going to tell you how he likes it. He's going to tell you all about it. Here we go.
How you doing? I'm Shane with Riddles Towing. I wanted to just go through and go over the truck that I was gifted. The last one that I ended up having was a 2012 Mack Pinnacle with a 27-ton NRC slider. The one that I ended up getting right now is a Peterbilt 2022 with a Miller 25-ton bed that's on there. Most of the things that are a little bit different, of course, the last one that I had was a 13-speed, and now I'm at a 18-speed with a Eaton on here. So as you can see right here, I got the PACCAR, the MX-13. Really quiet motor. Some of the few options that they end up having up over is they ended up installing the PTO override, just in case I do have any issues with my electronics. I can go through and be able to control the bed itself to either reduce it down to get it to where I need to, so I can either have myself towed if it ever comes to that situation. So I'm gonna go through pretty much the cab size. All right, so pretty much a lot of the upgrades that we ended up having, of course, a lot of user-friendlies that come with this truck itself. Got a lot of the controls that are up on the steering wheel that will start kind of from that area. I kind of like the grip of it, the feel of it. One of the downfalls that I hate is my little wheel that's right here. So what the wheel ends up doing is it changes the way my dash actually goes and looks. And since I have not set up favorites, I'll get a little chime right at the end telling me I haven't set up my favorites. So it kind of gets a little bit on the annoying side, but it is what it is. The other thing that I kind of hate about it is I sit kind of low inside of this truck just because be able to see over the hood itself.
Let's be real, it's you're a Peterbilt driver and you have to sit on the floor.
Yes, that too. Then I don't have the nice cushy sheet like the KW that's up over there, so I just don't even bother setting my seat. So like I said, one of the other things that it is I had to pick and choose with what I want to end up seeing. I have a top control, a lot of my indicators that are over here, so I put my steering wheel kind of around and about the top portion, so I lose out the simple things like the outside temperature, my time, the battery voltage, things like that, and then my oil temp. So a lot of the things that I end up having, I do have the dash cluster that's on to the side, then I go through and be able to see things. But if I want to know what time it is, I got about 3 ways. 1 is my watch, 2 is my cluster, 3 is my old-fashioned clock that's here, and then the last one is my radio itself. So overall, dash display, everything kind of like it. few things that I noticed that up on here, if I end up going into reverse, one, it mutes the radio. Two, it actually at nighttime, it will take my dash cluster and go as completely dim as possible. I guess to help out with some of that nighttime elements. A lot of my controls and everything for lights are over here on the side that I end up needing over here. As far as my normal light switch, my marker lights, if I want to run one or the other, the dimmer, my hazards, I have my fog lights that are here, and then also my check lights for my inspection that's onto it. One of the things that I noticed as far as the Peterbilt itself, it does have a delay in starting, usually about 3 seconds where it'll crank before it'll actually start itself. Miller went ahead and installed all my controls and everything that are up here on the front that I end up having. One of the things I normally ride around, especially as nighttime, is my toolbox lights on, because my toolbox lights have the underglow that is actually attached to that, give a nice little glow at nighttime itself. I have my backup camera that I end up having up on here. Grainy, kind of wish I would have stuck a HD one in so I can see a little bit better at nighttime. If not, what I'll end up doing is I'll either turn on my swivel lights or I'll turn my work down lights on to get a better picture of what I'm backing up on. So a lot of things over here on the radio itself that I end up having. Kind of like the touch screen, the full integration where the two pieces are together. That I end up having. I have quite a few options that I can go through to end up doing. One of the things I do like is the navigation that's on here. The dislike portion of this is on this truck is you actually have to shut the whole truck down, restart it just to be able to change the map features. I am working with a smart nav to try to get them to respond so I can go through and figure out if it might be a setting somewhere or something that's going on. I know the KW, you can go through, set the parking brakes, have it in neutral, and all your grayed out keyboards you can go through and end up operating from that. All my switches that I have my air suspension dump, I have my winch brake to lock up all the brakes if I'm having to pull something by the winch to make sure it doesn't drag me, and then I also have my differential and axle locks out to the side. Everything that's up over here, all my spares, they're all obsolete.
Absolutely useless.
Yes, quite a few things that I have. Everything that is in the up position does not connect to anything. So it'll just be one of those things that I can go through, and eventually I will find something and I will put it up on there. Whether
for the most part, it's a pretty optioned out cab, though. It has quite a few things that are up on here that I do kind of like. Look, it's nice. She ain't no Kenworth, but she's nice.
Yes, I'm real close to the person that is right next to me. I can reach out and touch someone, you know. So one of the things that I like that of course my counterpart Michael does not like is I have a nice little switch right here that I can go through.
Let's be honest, I like it. I just don't like that I don't have it.
Yes, that's why he's jealous of this one little switch. What this switch ends up doing is I can control the air itself into the back. Up here I do have separate controls, so if I do want to go through and take a nap in the back, I can close off that one area and just provide air to the back. I don't have to worry about trying to keep the whole system nice and comfortable. A few things that I had to get used to, of course, is pedaling. Everything is mounted from the floor itself. It's not the type to where it breaks. You can go out towards the firewall. Of course, the clutch, I'm getting a little bit better at it to where it is as far as pushing down instead of pushing outwards. Still get enough room to where I can go through, stretch my log self out, and go through, put my legs up onto the side. I have plenty of time to kind of stretch out on this vehicle. One of the things I do like has a nice little spot right here that I can go through and keep my water, and then I don't have to worry about it going everywhere.
That is nice.
So bed itself, I have plenty of space up underneath to go through and keep any type of documentation. Don't worry about that. And then of course I have my bed.
Now, we've been getting a lot of comments. How often do we use the beds? I would say maybe
2 weeks out of a year.
What's the main reason we order trucks with sleepers?
One of the main reasons we end up getting them for sleepers, one, we can keep our equipment inside of here, anything that we have as safety things, and two, if we are on long hauls, we can go through and be able to pull over safely and be able to take a quick nap before we're actually out onto it. The other thing,
and the third one,
and the other
most important one, we're all like 6 foot tall and up in the high 200s. We need some leg room.
Yes, and this one does not. As you can see, this seat is all the way back and it is tilted all the way back. I do not have a recliner in here. I will sit, like your mom told you, upright when driving into this truck. So, but yes, there is not enough space in between here. My fat butt ended up getting stuck, and it took another wrecker to go through and pull me back out just so I can try to approach that correctly. But yes, I do have the bed in the back. One of the things is my daughter just loves it. When she sleeps in and has to take her to school, yes, this is kind of like her little chauffeur truck to show off on all the vehicles themselves. So that is inside the cab. All right, so one of the infamous doors to go through, air out. You know, for them long nights, you want a nice little breeze up inside of here, and you can trust the actual lot that you're parked at. And then I kind of like it to where I no longer have to take a lot of my things and put them inside the cab. I can go through and put them here, my laptop, any type of documents, anything else. I produce chickens at home that they lay their own eggs. I don't know how they do it, but every morning I end up waking up, I got like more of them. I take them away, come back out, do them again. So I throw them up inside of here, bring them to work, and let other individuals kind of have them. All right, so as you've seen the last walk around that Michael ended up doing with this truck, what we try to do here at Riddle's Merciful is we try to make sure every single truck is set up the same. When we go through to ensure that, it's that way if we have our light duty operators, anything that is out on scene with us, what we end up doing is we'll tell them we have D1 or we'll have P1, and we pretty much on the way back. So this will be D2, that'll be P2 that's on here. So every single thing that's inside of his truck minus 2 doors is pretty much set up identical, is how we try to end up going. So my first door that I have here is a lot of the obsolete forks that I end up having. So a lot of these ones that are up over here, other than my 6-inch offsets that I have, really don't get used as much. So pass through that I have, of course, my chair for them nice long days. I have my height stick that's inside of here, and a couple things for lockouts, along with my cleaning your hands before you touch the Peterbilt to be able to go through. So
he makes us take our shoes off when we get inside.
Yes, I want to make sure my truck stays nice and pretty. All right, second door that we have right about here. This is the kind of everything. Michael has his as his personal closet, so I wanted to be just like Mike. So what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and threw my jackets inside of here. So the next things that I end up having behind here is this nice little wonderful step ladder. That I can go through to be able to help with fairings, get up on the back of trucks that have rolled over, anything else to go through and secure things. Amazing what you go through on Facebook Marketplace. Right on the back side of on here, I have my bus bar systems that ended up coming with there. The only issue that I ended up having is the rear scoops that are up on here. I went ahead and just kind of found a spot up into the top portion and then bungeed them up so that way they will not fall back over.
So Shane doesn't know because he's never had to use them yet. He refuses to break them out until he absolutely has to.
I don't want to break them out because I don't want to scratch the paint.
They fold out to about here, and then you just pick them up and get them out of there. It's much easier to get them in and out. My truck does not have this system in place. The installer, the builder, did not put them in there, and it actually didn't come with them. We actually bought them used from another company out of Bowling Green, but his came with them. They're all painted to match, and he intends to keep them that way as absolutely long as he can, because they are heavy and we hate getting them out.
Then if you they ended up installing these lights up on here that I end up having, which is a great little feature. So if I do have these doors open, it will also go through and help with the notification that there is something that is going on. All right, my second door that I am having here, what we went ahead and did is modified it with a lot of our rigging with our endless loops. I have my 20s that are here. I have my rim slings that are here. My 4 feet. I have my 8 foot, and then I have a few of my 6 foots that are up on here.
Shameless plug. We order all this stuff from Mytee Products. They've got the best deals around. You guys see us use this soft synthetic rigging in just about everything we can. If we don't have to break out a chain, we're not breaking out a chain. So Mytee Products is where we get our synthetic rigging, our shackles, our master links, all that stuff. We get all that from Mytee. So go check them out. I'll put a link down in the description.
One of the other things that we ended up going through to add is a little bit of the hangers. Went ahead and bend them around so that way we can go through and put our hooks, put any type of shackles that we have up on here. I'm gonna go through and then pretty much eventually hang my snatch blocks. All right, on D4, pretty much I have on my oils, my dry sweep that's up inside here. I have quite a few road flares that we'll go through, put out at nighttime. Our protectors that we'll use on a lot of our strapping to make sure that we can prolong them. I have my 30-foot by 8-inch straps. I have a 27-foot 2-inch straps, ratchet straps that are here. I normally keep about 3 of them that's up on here. The other 2 are currently being used to hold up a pallet that we end up doing. We have quite a few mats that we ended up getting. Cut a couple slits inside of there, so what we can end up doing is we can run a lot of our slings through here, so when we go up and over something, we can go through and ensure that we're not going to cut it. So it'll go through and help prolong a lot of our
we got a few rollover videos coming out that you'll see us use these a lot. So
every single thing else that we went through down at the bottom, we have a lot of our fork receivers for the bumpers that we'll end up having. The great international ones that are here, my little water bottle. And then of course we have every single thing else we have. The only ones that I have not stuck here are the ones that actually come to my truck. Those are still in the bottom of the sleeper portion. Driver 5. I have a few extra blocks that are up over here along with the other side. My tow-mate light bar that is in. I have my 50-foot extension that I can go through and connect up to my truck to the trailer to make sure I have the whole thing illuminated. I have additional strapping that is inside of here that will help for any type of things that might be needed. Last box that we have on this side, I have my nice little hose reel, so if I got to clean myself beforehand, all the main controls to the boom, the underreach, the spades, all the winch controls, everything are up on this side. Like Michael, I'll go through and keep quite a few extra pair of gloves that are inside here, just in case we have anybody that comes out on scene with us. We can go through and end up assisting them to make sure that they are protected. One of the things that I've noticed, especially up on this side, is my throttle. My throttle, sometimes it'll work the first iteration, sometimes it might take about the 3rd try. I've gone in and tried different things. I know that whenever I have the winch lock that is on it, that it will not allow me to use it at all. So I go through, make sure everything's done up, and then in the normal operation mode before I'll go in and I will attempt to use my throttle lock. I'll wait about a few seconds, have to turn it back off, turn it on, turn it back off, turn it back on, then it ends up working at that time. So that's pretty much everything on this side. We'll end up going to the rear.
shiny.
All right, what we went ahead and did is I put my everyday forks that we'll go through and use, along with some of my as they call tower's choice straps, 2-inch straps that are inside of here.
So before he gets too far, they call these forks Lego hands. These are the forks we use most of the time. They look like little Lego hands. So I think just a little nifty little fork. These are what we use probably 95% of the time when we tow. Your general axle is going to have that. Max, Volvos, some of the older ones, we can't use that, but most of 99% of your 5, maybe whatever, however many percent I said, most of your axles are going to take that fork, the little Lego hand fork. So there's that. Moving on.
So of course these ones are by the BA. They are rated about 7,000 pounds working load limits that are up on these. Both of them together, I can get 14,000 pounds working load limits with both of them themselves. So what we went ahead and did is we utilized this side that's over here, because once we end up getting out, connecting up to a lot of things, it is right here, right next to us. We have everything inside this door.
So a lot of people ask us why we use straps instead of chains, and that's mostly because for us it's faster. It's what I originally learned on doing. I can do chains just like everybody else, but you got to break out chain binder, whole 9 yards, and for us straps are faster. Now you think about it, we're grabbing an entire tractor trailer or whatever sometimes, and you don't think those straps are going to hold. Well, those straps don't hold the truck to us. They just keep the truck from bouncing out of the forks on rough road, or say the steer tires hit the ground or something like that. So I mean, gravity holds the truck down, right? Let's be totally honest, if it wanted to go somewhere, it doesn't matter what you put on it, it's going to go. But the strap is there to keep the truck in the forks, keep it from bouncing out of the forks on the underreach.
On this side that we have up over here is our cups that we end up having. Of course, I have not used them yet. That's why they are dirty. The only thing that they've actually scraped is because whenever they were painting them. So then we keep them up on this side. A lot of the times that we'll end up using those is when we do a rear tow, go through and be able to get up on the spring hangers. All right. On this side that I have up over here, two things that we ended up going through to do is kind of merging both these boxes together. A lot of the things that we end up having on this side, of course, the same controls. The only thing that you do not have on this side is your throttle high speed, and then you do not have controls for your underlift itself. The nice little straps that they went through and sent us, as you can see, this is what a Steer Tech axle ended up going through to do. Cut straight through this. So I know on one of the previous videos, a lot of people do not like using their chains on there, but I had no option to do anything but use the chain itself, just because the simple fact is it cut through this thing like it was nothing. So that's $152 just for a pair of those straps. What I ended up going through to do is up on the inside of the bed well, we went ahead and ran two 3/8 by 50 foot hose reels. This one that is mounted on this side is connected up to the trailer. The one that is mounted up onto the other side is a constant air volume. Well, on this truck itself, I had to go through and tap into a 1/2 inch pneumatic airline, and then on this side was a 5/8 or 16 millimeter airline.
So this one here, he's saying it's a constant air. This one always has air pressure, just like this fitting here. This is the factory fitting, but we like hose reels, as you see us use them all the time. So we put hose reels on here, and like I said, this one's got constant air all the time. We usually use it to supply the truck, and then this one goes to the trailer brakes. This one works off of your foot valve, just like you're pushing your red knob in, just like a typical tractor trailer. This goes to your blue glad hand on the trailer, and it is actually works off when you hit your pedal, then air comes through here, but it does not have air through here all the time.
All right, again, like I said, a lot of the stuff that we end up using is the push connect fittings. I got between 16 millimeters all the way down to 1/4 inch. A lot of things I went ahead and put up inside of here is my own personal tools. The reason why we go through is because, you know, sometimes there's something that we end up needing. And I have my blower that I'll end up going through to help clean out roadways for simple things, or whenever we were doing corn, to keep that area cleaned up. The other thing that I ended up using for why it is dirty is because when we were doing that brick van rollover, it was to get all that dust and everything out so we can put the trailer straps together to make sure that the walls did not buckle or fall out. So again, I'm a big Milwaukee fan. If somebody says that they want something, I just go out and buy it and say it's mine. So a lot of the tools that are up on here are really useful. So
Milwaukee does not sponsor us. He just likes to throw his life savings away.
Yes. All right, going into P4, pretty much on P4, this is where Michael keeps a lot of his tools that he ends up going through. The next door that I end up having, that is where the actual toolbox that was installed. So
yeah, I'm fancy, I got a toolbox.
Yes, I have a toolbox. So there's quite a few personal things that are up in here, cleaning products that are going in. I did find some of the paint to go onto the back of it, which is cobalt blue metallic, and then also a silver metallic. So I can go through and attempt to keep my truck nice and pretty. So one of the things that I noticed that they ended up doing is they painted a lot of the material over the yellow, and then the yellow was originally over the silver that is up on. So one of the things I'll end up doing over a period of time is where my sockets are that are on here, I'm end up getting them to where I can pull them off one by one. I don't have to sit here and open up every single one. But the only benefit on this one is I can take the whole case with me whenever I'm up underneath the truck trying to pull drive shafts or brake chambers off. So a lot of my bigger tools, of course, are down at the bottom. One of the things that I will end up eventually having to go through and do is finding a nice little home for all my 8-inch C-clamps. So what we end up using these for is whenever we are doing a rear tow, we will go through and put these around the fairings, so that way it is on the fiberglass itself. We have little red caps that go on top of these, and then we can take our ratchet straps and pull them and then hold them, so that way the fairings itself will not blow out. I got a toolbox, see? So inverter that they ended up going through and installing here, 2 spots that they have it located is, one goes behind the driver's seat, so whenever I'm on long hauls or decide to come up here, spend the night, I can go through and plug my CPAP in, because I'm no longer a skinny boy. The other thing that it is right up over by all my personal tools. There's one that is right there. The way that I kind of have this is a lot of my air fittings are up here on the top. I have my universal kit that I ended up going through. I made sure that I got one of the newer ones that does have the Volvo. That is right here. This one, it is kind of loose, that goes into it, but don't be scared, it will hold pressure. So a lot of my other straight push connects are right here, and then every single thing to check the tires to connecting up to the trailers are all mounted into this box. The other thing that I ended up having is on the box here, I have a lot of my fittings to end up going through, whether I got to cap something off. I have the capability to go through and try to repair something if need be, to be able to go through and get them back on the road instead of giving a tow bill itself. So went through, I got that. All right, next one down, I have a lot of my additional type of wrenches that are here, a lot of miscellaneous type items, pins, tape, screws, things like that, and then just some locks if we have to go through lock up trailers. We can go through and be able to keep those secured for the members that we have. Next one down, I do have my wrenches that are here, so if I need to go through and have something, it's already pre-out, it's pre-laid out, I can go through and be able to find out which one that it is. Next drawer down that I have my drive line, I have my caging bolts over here, I have additional cage bolts that are down in the center portion, and I have any type of Allen and also star bits themselves. Next one down is empty, because just like my heart. Yes. And then I have another additional one.
Say hopes and dreams.
Yes, my heart is always empty, just like my gut. That's why I married someone who, yeah, kind of keeps me nice and full sometimes. So additional things that we have up on here, quite a few vice grips that we have, just in case we got to crimp over airlines to be able to get them down to the road. All right, so on this last drawer that I ended up having, I gotta love that little stuck spot that I have. I have my impact that I'll go through to assist me once I get the drive shaft bolts nice and loose. Go through and pretty much run them out, and I have a grinder in here just in case I have to go through and make any type of modifications to things. Up underneath, I do have a couple of my cleaning supplies that are here, and then one of the things that we end up doing from Harbor Freight, we have our clamp pads that we'll go through, use to make sure that we are protecting the members' body, so that way whenever we do our fairings. All right, my last little drawer that I am having, please pardon some of them, these chains are now used, they don't look as pretty. Yes, because I don't want to use things on this truck because I'm trying to keep it clean, but other people keep wanting me to work. So a lot of things that I am having up here are my grade 100s. I have my 10 footers on the front. I have 2 of my frame 5 footers that are here. We did get to use them once on a nice little LG machinery to go through and be able to use. I have my grade 100s, 2 of them by 20 footers on the back. On the front portion, I have 3 of my grade 80s on my 3/8 by 10 foot. I have my 20 footers right here on the side, and then I have what I'll use is my 3/8 chains to assist with the tying up the front drive. I do love this thing. As you can still see, I have remnants of blood from whenever I ended up processing a deer by my wheel lift. So one things I wanted to add is a nice little strut bar across, so I can go through and put a lot of my bungee cords. These are OSHA approved to tie down a semi to your wheel lift. Don't try this at home.
It came with a fancy chain.
Yes. So for us individuals that are Army rated, we can go through and read on with what we should end up using. So we'll go through and grab the correct chain just to go through and get it out there and told, no, go get the bigger chain. So. All right, last one, which is the additional on my pass-through. This is the main fork systems that are inside of here. The ones that I ended up going through to use is my 4-inch. A lot of these ones, these are the 0200019, which are the approved ones for SteerTech axles. The reason why those are kind of on the every shade of what they should be is because I went a week of nothing but SteerTech axles. So I have my nice little 5th wheel plate. I can go through and have the adapters. I have my end caps for chains. For quite a while I was running a extra air hose, so I will not give this adapter back no matter what he says. And then I have my spill kit.
Yes, he will.
I did get a couple new shovels, but I do love how you have to play Jenga to get them in and out. Just
especially
to be able
the
to use
broom
them
too.
correctly. Yes, and also having the broom inside here. A lot of my straps that I end up having inside of here. I have my 6 foot retractables that are here up at the top, and then I have my 10 feet that are right behind it. So my 10 foot ones are the ones that we go through and end up using for our fairings. One of the things I do like about these ones is I can go through, pull it out, and it stays in that position until I press this red button to retract it all. So I can go through, get in position that I need. Whenever I go through, I can start ratcheting it, and then whenever I'm done, just go through, press the red button, everything is back to normal.
Okay, so we get a lot of comments. I'm trying to figure out how to do a video still. How much do you think, we need to get a scale or something, how much do you think the fork receivers weigh? A lot of people ask, like, they want to know how much stuff weighs and stuff like that, and how heavy it is, how big it is. Fork receivers, I would say the ones we use every day are probably like, I don't know, 8 or 10 pounds a piece.
Well, my fork adapters are probably, yeah, I'd say about 10 pounds probably for the smallest ones. And once you start getting into your higher ones, these are probably up into the 20-25 pounds.
A 5th wheel plate is probably every bit of 80 pounds.
Yes, I know we've done a couple of trailers themselves, but as Michael will tell you, I don't want to get my truck dirty. And then
Yeah, he hasn't even put his together yet. He just keeps making me use mine.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's probably already scratched, but this thing probably right here is probably a good 50 pounds alone just with this.
Oh,
and then
what is that, 1/2 inch thick steel? Maybe thicker.
Yeah. So
that's why it's called heavy towing, because everything's heavy. Everything is heavy.
To include the operator.
Yeah, including the operators. Can't be a lightweight. Can't be a whittle guy.
So that is, of course, the last portion of this box. Pretty much every single thing I have in here is my rear air conditioning, heater core, everything that's in here. And then I went ahead and put a lot of the documentations that this vehicle actually came with, and then I went ahead and stored it inside of here. So that way, if we end up going through to do a resale or anything like this, the next owner actually has the documentations and they will not be lost. This is my truck. This is my baby.
Okay, bye.